I know a lot of us worry about postural issues, not just aesthetically because it doesn't look good, but over time it will cause pain, tension in our traps and in our shoulders. Our shoulders become rounded forward, and then we get these things called text neck or forward head carriage, upper cross syndrome, yours truly shoulder impingement. So we're going to be trying to look at our shoulders from a more therapeutic lens, and we're going to be using our hammock to help us. So that being said, we're going to be getting a little handsy. If you don't know what that means, you're going to have to stay tuned. You will need a yoga block, and you'll need to set your hammock just a couple inches beneath your knees. So think upper to mid shins like a typical low flow would. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one and you'll get something out of it. I want to make it quick enough so that you can realistically do this after a long day of sitting at your computer or just a little bit of TLC before bed. So get yourself set and we will begin. If you get into this first pose and you aren't comfortable, chances are you need to come down a notch on your daisy chains. I actually already had to stop and start once because I had to come down one myself. So this pose should feel like bliss, and if it doesn't, we need to adjust. Come right to shoulder blades. You are underneath your plumb line or slightly behind it. We're gonna get started with the yoga block right at the hairline. So place the block right at where your hairline is or would be, and you're gonna set it on the ground. I want you to get some pressure right at your shoulder blades. And we'll begin with a little bit of that thoracic arch just to relax into our pose and get us ready for our work. Make sure your chin isn't tilting towards the ceiling, keep it neutral. Allow the pressure of the fabric to sink into the shoulder blades and just have your palms out to the side. They should be comfortable. Try to let any tension wash out of your body. Feel an opening through the chest. Allow the shoulder heads to sink back. And keep a slight engagement through the core. So just gently pulling the navel towards the spine. Inhale the arms up towards the ceiling, and you'll grab the opposite forearm with your hand. So I'm going to create what feels like a little square right over me. And then see if those arms are willing to come up by the ears. If you need to hold the wrists versus forearms or elbows, depending on your anatomy, you might need to adjust. Take any arching out of the low back by gently pulling the navel in. So we want to keep the opening through the upper part of our back. Even if you could try to deepen the breath in, so letting the inhale get all the way up through into where you feel that expansion through your ribcage around the fabric. Releasing in the arms. We'll do one at a time. As they swing up towards the ceiling, grab your right forearm with your left hand, not the wrist, because there's a tendency to pull. You'll lengthen again, try to get that arm by the ear with a very gentle lengthening. I wouldn't call it a pull or a tug. You're just really gently trying to assist a little bit of a longer reach on that right side. Out and around. Up and over. Grabbing that wrist. Here we go. Getting long. Again, stay away from the wrist. Arms out to the side. And once again, I just want you to relax into the pose. Full breath in, side out. Being mindful here, I want you to keep any strain from the neck. Hands are going to come behind the head. Use your hands to lift your head, and then you could slowly come up to a seat. As you sit up, sit comfortably. So if you prefer to have your legs out in front of you, that is fine. I'm going to take my hands through the middle so I have something to pull apart. Send your body weight forward. Keep the neck long so gaze is down. Just kind of ease into this one. And sit up tall. Your hands should still be in your fabric. I want you to try to push the fabric away from you without allowing any tension or lift through the traps. So we might want to lift and lose our neck here. Allow a softness through the neck, the shoulders, the traps, and active pressure of your hands into the fabric. Pull your ribs in, draw your navel to the spine. You should feel a deep stretch across the front of your chest, maybe into the pectorals. I could actually feel this all the way into the bicep tendon. From here, I want you to get that nice deep stretch, and then let's see if we can take it a little further to the right. Oh my God, so tight. Now as you're leaning to the right, I want you to look to the left. And then through center, you're gonna slide, and now you're leaning left and you're looking right. And again, lean. We're pulling, we're leaning, we're looking away from that stretch. And across. Now, if you are me, which you're not, but some of you might be like me, you could feel the difference or the restriction as you go from one side to the other. Sit tall, let's actively pull apart again. Begin to soften so that we can get back into those shoulders. And then we're just gonna go back into our thoracic arch, locating our block. I know it's there somewhere. And just take a moment to allow your body to digest. Right? Opening, melting, feeling. Same thing here. I want you to lift your head with your hands, not with the muscles in your neck. And you can sit up and roll through. Let's take it into hands and knees. We'll start with the right side. So, table. I'm gonna reach up with my right hand and grab the fabric. So I'm just palm facing out, grab the fabric. And from here, I'm going to think of pushing that right arm straight. And same thing that we did with our little lean. I'm gonna look to the left as I push my hand to the right. There is a downward pull, like I'm trying to pull the fabric out of the ceiling. And basically what I'm experiencing is a stretching in the tendons down the arm. If this feels good, I'm gonna see if I can go deeper by coming down onto that forearm and elbow and almost sending my body weight either forward or to the side. Just move a little bit. You're still pulling out of the shoulder. I know it looks like we're not doing much to those of you who are just watching and not participating. Coming up. And let's continue to work with that side. So as you come up, however you need to grab, I'm actually gonna just kind of wind it up into my arm here. So the wind up, kind of going around all of the fabric and just grabbing onto something. Less to hold because I'm wound up in there. I'm in very much of a child's-like position. I'm gonna send my body weight forward, starting here, sinking, starting to feel my trap stretch as I look to the left. It's okay if the elbow bends, my elbow is bending. Now's where things will get interesting. So now that I have you here and you're starting to feel the stretch, you're going to use your hands to squeeze and release. Through the armpit, I'm sorry to say, down into where this lat is in pec minor, possibly all the way up and around towards the arm itself. So this entire region is getting some love. Yes? This should hurt, I'm sorry. You're gonna feel great after. If you've ever had a massage therapist, a good one, they're gonna go in here for you. And you might see stars, but our goal is to release the shoulder. Typically, we are tight in here, bicep tendon up within the armpit here. There's a lot of insertion points where it can become locked up, and that's what creates the immobility of the shoulder, the rolling forward of the shoulder. Look to the opposite direction of where you're squeezing. Whew. Release. Shoulder roll. Come onto those hands and knees again. Pivot your right hand to the floor. Give it a little stretch because it was grabbing and pinching and pulling and holding. Elbow crease should be forward. And peel that hand off the ground. Left hand comes through the middle. Grab, palm is facing out. And you're just going to pull that fabric out of the ceiling and look to the right. Right, so as much as you want to sink into this, some of you may be feeling good here, forearm, elbow / palm, whatever works for you. The more I lean and push away, the more I feel, bicep tendon especially. And sink back. Whew, I need to do this like every night. So we'll make this short and sweet so that it is accessible more frequently. Grab your fabric, however feels good to you. I'm just gonna kind of wind up in different ways here. Little child's position, send your body weight forward. Take your initial stretch, maybe looking to the right, see how this side feels. And then coming in for our work, you're gonna squeeze and release. Again, I apologize, but not really. I don't know about you, but getting a massage right now is not in the economical budget anymore. But it would be nice. We got to do it ourselves. I want you to notice how you feel after we finish, maybe into the nighttime or tomorrow. Squeeze and hold, find a deep spot. And up. Whew. Unwind. Table position. Flip that left hand, give it a little stretch here. Elbow crease should be facing forward. Send your body weight back. Make sure you're not shrugging to your ear with that shoulder. And up. Fabric in front. I want you to wind up with your right hand from here. Leave a little tail, right? So leave a little tail here for your left to grab. See if you can get the deltoid. So as I come up and forward, I'm gonna let the left shoulder drop and just see if I can let my body weight stretch the back of that shoulder. The angle at which you're folding. For example, I need this to go right underneath my sternum to get the back of the shoulder. If you're too close to the floor, pull up on your fabric so that you have room to drop. Shrug the shoulder away from your ear. And full wrap left. Again, the higher you go, the easier this might be to grab and rotate. So right arm comes underneath, you're tilting. Shrug away from your ear. And out. Swing your legs around. And bring those legs in front. This is a new one. Join me in a seat. Taking the right hand, I'm gonna go with a triple wrap once, twice, 3 times. That way I don't have to hold as hard with my hand. I'm held in the wind up. And I also want your arm elevated. So if it's out here, down low, you're probably not gonna receive the stretch. So we need to go high. From here, right arm is in fabric. Lean down onto the left elbow and onto your left side. My goal is to try to twist to face the back of my mat, allowing a nice stretch in my pectorals, right side. Try moving your gaze around, for example, tilting your left ear towards the floor, maybe feeling it in your neck, or looking down, tucking the chin in. All of these are going to traction across the pecs, create room in the shoulder. And if this feels good and you feel safe, no pain or anything other than a deep, deep stretch, imagine there's a doorknob on the ceiling and try to gently rotate around. So I'm twisting through the shoulder joint. Find a hold, nice and deep. And pivot. Whew, that one is so deep. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So your hand is lifted. Right forearm, here we go. Pivot. Notice I'm looking to the back of my mat. Playing with your gaze, I'm gonna try tilting or tucking my chin. All of them are deep. If you feel safe, so this is my real bad shoulder. They're both pretty bad, but this little doorknob turn, I need to be very careful, moving slowly, not moving into pain, although this stretch is quite deep, kind of translates as pain, but it's not pain. Holding and feeling. stand up. I'm looking at Lacey, and she's sleeping with her tongue poking out. Oh my God. I wish I could like zoom in on it for you. There is nothing cuter. For the finish, similar to what we did earlier, I want you to take your thumb and really hit the front of this shoulder. It is going to be tender. I'm sorry, not sorry. And into the front of the bicep tendon here, so rotate your arm and continue to use your thumb. Think about it. If your bicep tendon is shortened and tight, it is going to pull the shoulder forward, which is going to give us pronation, which is going to give us poor posture, which is going to give us shoulder impingement, forward head carriage, upper cross syndrome. The list goes on and on. Second side, I'm going to start right at the shoulder head, using my thumb like I mean it. Bicep tendon. And you're gonna know, you can kind of like thump over it, and you'll know that's where you're supposed to be. And if you're a little sore tomorrow, that is not uncommon. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully this is something that I've made quick enough that you can revisit it a couple times a week. For those of you who are dealing with some of the stuff I'm dealing with, we come full circle. Let's end how we started. You want to let your body digest the work we've done. So, putting your knees how you like, together or wide. Melt into your pose, close your eyes, and feel. Subtle sensations, mild burning, tingling, all of them, just welcome them all. Hands behind the head and gently lift. Coming to your seat. I realize this one had a little bit of tough love in the moment, but I'm hoping you're gonna feel some of that TLC tomorrow and for the rest of the day. And until next time, Namaste. Are we bothering you? You awake? Beautiful girl.